me introduce myself first. So I have a couple of notes here, but we'll start with introduction. So let's talk about myself. My name is Halyna. Some of you might know me as Halyna Makes on Instagram. I am Ukrainian born, living in Ireland for the last 14 years. I live in a small enough town called Cavan, and with my husband and 2 kids, 2 girls, 7 and almost 2-year-old. So I moved to Ireland 14 years ago, and I honestly couldn't be happier right now. It's my home. I have my life here, everything. I can't imagine where I would have been if I didn't go here 14 years ago, if my dad didn't decide to bring me here. Anyway, so let's talk about more why I'm here, why I'm doing this podcast. So my podcast is going to be mainly knitting and crochet related. I do love other crafts. I've always been into crafts. But the last 2 years, crochet and knitting have really been saving me from bad anxiety, bad depressions, and just to pass time in evenings rather than being on my phone and reading all the depressing news. I would pick up my needles or my crochet hook and I would do that instead. It's like, it's my yoga, you know. I think a lot of knitting and crochet people will relate to what I'm saying right now, because it's our own world we're in when we're doing what we love, and that's what I love a lot, and I can't see myself without being part of it anymore. So before I was a stay-at-home mum, I was a nail salon owner, I was a nail technician, I was a beauty therapist, but then COVID happened, and of course, like, I had to close and stay at home with my daughter at the time. Like, I didn't have my youngest. But then things came out that I didn't know. It turned out that I had immune disorder, and it's mainly my bones and my skin that is affected. My energy levels are going through extreme. One day I could have loads of energy, I could do anything and everything. Another day I'm struggling to get out of bed because of the pain and because of not having enough energy. So my consultants and my doctors have decided and have told me that the job I was in was not for me. It was doing me more damage than anything else. So I had to just put this big cross in my career in nails, in owning a salon. So I had to close, and yeah, I was trying to find myself, what will I do with my time, what can I do? And I didn't want to go back out and do any job just out there, because I wanted something that I enjoy doing. I wanted something I want to get up to go to work to. And me and my husband decided that I will stay at home with the kids for now. I was pregnant at the time, so yeah, we decided I'll stay at home with the kids for now. I'll do school runs, I'll just keep up with the house while he's working. And to be honest with you, being a mom is a job in itself, and I think a lot of moms will agree with me on this one, because it never stops. Like, oh, sorry, I just nudged my stand. It never stops. It's 24/7. Like, last night I thought we would get a good night's sleep, but no, we ended up 3 in bed and all night nudged in the back, in the face. My poor husband still had to get up and go to work today, but I'm at home with the girls. I do a bit of translating now, since everything is happening in Ukraine. There's a lot of Ukrainian people in Ireland now, and I really understand what it feels like not knowing the language, because I was 15 when I came here. And yeah, I really do feel for them, because when you try to explain yourself and they, somebody that you're trying to explain yourself to doesn't understand what you're saying, it's heartbreaking. It really is. And especially for older people, like you just feel so anxious. You close yourself, lock yourself from everybody then, and you just think you're being like a pain in the ass for the people that don't understand you. So yeah, I'm doing translating on the side just to get out of the house and see others, but I can't be doing much of that either, because since I mentioned that I have immune disorder, I had to start a treatment which is quite hard treatment on my health, and I can't be mixing as much with people, because I could pick up anything, and nobody knows how I will end up with that virus or with that flu or cold because of my health. So anyway, I think that's enough talking about depressing stuff. That's not why we're here for. So let's talk about how I started to knit and crochet. So years and years and years ago, when I was living in Ukraine, we had a subject like here in Ireland, the home economics, cooking, house stuff, sewing, knitting, cross stitching, crochet. I did learn how to do a knit and purl stitch, but I hated purling. I still do a little bit, to be honest. So yeah, I learned how to knit, but all I could do was knit a scarf. So I kind of thought that it was a bit too much, too tricky for me to understand. So I decided, no, that's not for me. Did a lot of cross stitch, a lot of it. Me and my grandmother used to spend evenings cross stitching. We've done a lot for the house, and I still have some of the stuff here, but most of it was back at home in Ukraine, which I don't think I'll be able to get now. But I do have some little things that are memories. I might actually show you some one of the days, like if anybody is interested in cross stitch. Yeah, and then crochet wasn't really popular to do in the school for home economics for some reason. I don't know why. And I remember a neighbor. We lived in this apartment block, and my friend lived in an apartment block across from the yard, across the yard in between the apartment blocks. So in her apartment block there was this lady, and she was absolutely lovely. And I remember she used to sit on a bench outside of the apartment block and crochet these like big round rugs out of like just scraps of fabric from like old t-shirts and old dresses and stuff. And I remember asking her, like, could you show me? So she showed me how to go in around, but I didn't know how to do increases, how to do decreases, anything like that. I could do something in around, but I couldn't increase, so it just ended up being like this little tube. So I left that as well, and I was just like, no, I don't know how to do this. Of course, there was no internet available at the time to look up all different videos on YouTube how to do different stuff. So I just left it for time being. Then my life got very busy when I moved to Ireland, learning language, doing exams in school. I never really got a chance to think about craft. I did do a lot of painting. I did finish art school in Ukraine, and I did art in school in here. And yeah, I used to pass my time with painting. So my hobbies were always like some sort of art, craft related. But yeah, knit and crochet really became my favourite in the last 2 years. So when I was pregnant with my first little girl, I knitted her this blanket with like a rainbow colours, just a simple knit, like garter stitch. And when I found out that I was pregnant with our second little girl, and I was at home all the time at the time, so I was like, you know what, I might make something for her as well. Before then, I crocheted like little granny squares that I look up online, and made a blanket out of that for my best friend's little girl when she was born. So that kind of was like my very first big knitting and crochet projects. But yeah, so when I was pregnant with our second little girl, I picked up a hook and I found some Aldi yarn, and I made her a blanket. And while I was doing it, I was just like, you know what, this is great. Like, I'm not on my phone reading all the COVID news at the time. Like, are we waiting for another lockdown? Are we doing this? Are we doing that? Oh my God, there's another strain. Oh my God, there's lockdown again in some town. And I was just like, this is great. Like, I'm not having as much of like my panic attacks, as many of them. I'm not having as many anxiety attacks. Like, I was still anxious, I was still panicky at times, but not as much. It used to actually, like, I used to shut off, and just with counting the stitches, it just made it so much better for me. So I decided, like, right, I'll keep going. So I joined a couple of groups on Facebook, Knitting and Crochet Ireland, and then Woolly Castle as well. So when the girls know Woolly Castle girls. So I joined them, and like, the people were amazing in this industry. People are so nice, so helpful. They're so encouraging as well. It's just fantastic. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna keep going. So I made several cardigans for the baby. I made some booties. Then I was like, I want to learn how to knit as well. So I decided, I was like, you know what, go big or go home. So from knowing how to do the garter stitch, then I knitted a raglan cardigan. Like, everybody was like, why are you picking out such a difficult project as your first thing to knit? And I was like, I just cannot learn by a simple little, like, by the book. I can't. I really can't. I have loads of books, as you can see, loads of them, but I cannot learn by just doing one stitch. I have a, like, printout of a pattern in front of me, and if I don't know something, I'll either look it up in a book, Google it, Google my best friend, or YouTube. You can see how people do it. So yeah, I made the first raglan cardigan, and I was so proud of myself. I really was. And I was just like, you know what, that's what I absolutely love how to do. So then I was like, okay, I'll make more things. And I made loads of crocheted gifts that Christmas as well. I made shawls. I made was it, you know, the pocket scarf, like a big shawl type of scarf with pockets for my mother-in-law. I made mittens for my husband's grandmother. I made loads of little bits. So I really loved it. And of course, then yarn buying started, because my mother-in-law, she is big into crochet, knitting, all types of crafts. She has a huge craft room full of stuff, and it's like literally going into like Aladdin's cave, like all the things that she has. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. That's going to be me one day. I have a feeling that's going to be me one day. My husband won't be happy, but sure, look, happy wife, happy life. Anyway, so yeah, I then joined the girls to do we were doing a raglan sweater from Drops. It was just a simple raglan and then all plain stockinette stitch, and I loved it, and I was so proud wearing it. I still wear it. It was in Drops Air, and it's just the softest little thing that I have. So then from there it started, one thing after another, more crochet, more knitting, and I really got into knitting. It was last year when Stephen West had his mystery knit along, and I was like, oh, here, everybody's joining it, I have to join. So of course I joined in, and Stephen, he's a crazy scientist in knitting. He really is, and I absolutely adore him. He is amazing. Like, the things he designs, it's like, how did you even think of that? Like, that's amazing. And the way he explains everything in his videos, it's just so, he makes it look so easy, but then he explains it so easy as well. And because he's so like, oh, if you have an extra stitch, just do decrease, do increase, whatever. And yeah, I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I need. So yeah, done that, and ever since I absolutely love knitting. My phone is about to die soon, so we might be cut off, but I will make sure I will finish this episode, because I said I will do it, I'll finish it. So yeah, I've been knitting since a lot. Absolutely love it. And like my husband says, like, where knitting goes, Halyna goes, or the opposite. Halyna goes where knitting goes. Oh yeah. I'm everywhere with knitting or crochet project. Unfortunately, like, lately I can't really crochet as much because of the condition that I have. It has really affected my right hand, and the way I hold my hook, I don't have the strength to pull even the lightest little bit of yarns. So it's quite upsetting, because there's still so many projects I want to crochet, and I love crochet because it's definitely one of a kind. It's definitely unique. There's no, like, if you can machine knit, you can't machine crochet. So yeah, like, I really hope that in the next couple of weeks, that now I'm on the treatment, I will be able to pick my hook back up and start doing crochet. Like, there's so many things I want to make. The next one I'll be making as a crochet will probably be a huge gorgeous blanket in like navy and red and blue colors for our living room. I want something in the living room that I have made, because we have bits in like our lounge / dining room kitchen where I am at the moment, a couple of little bits, and of course my stash here, to kind of show that Halyna knits, Halyna crochets, but we haven't got much in the living room. So I would love to make something nice that my little girls, they love blankets, and my husband loves blankets as well, just to snuggle under the blanket in the evening. And yeah, I want to make a gorgeous crochet blanket for the living room. But anyway, so let's talk about my whips. So the first one I have on the list is Sophie shawl. I don't think I need to introduce Sophie shawl really, because everybody knows what Sophie shawl is at this point. I think most people that I know have either started or finished or still making it, or thinking on making it. So let's show you my Sophie shawl. It's in my little handmade bag. Look at this. It actually looks like croissant. I have it in a little project bag on the go, because it's my on the go project. It's small, it's easy, it's stuck in a stitch, it's mindless, so you don't have to constantly count and think. So it's in my car when I'm going doing school runs, when we're going somewhere, I'm just knitting away, and I absolutely love it. So I'm doing it in this beautiful Olann Mills yarn. So it's in Croí, if I'm pronouncing that right, in shade Bsides purple. I remember when I was speaking to, I'll talk about Olann later because I absolutely love them as well. A friend of mine works in Olann, and she told me that this was, this was one of their first male yarns, and I absolutely love it. Like, it's so soft, it's beautiful. Like, I think it's a DK weight, and this pattern calls for iron weight, but I thought that I could get away with it because this yarn in particular, it's kind of more on a thicker DK side a little bit. It's closer to worsted, if I'm pronouncing that right. But yeah, I had 2 big skeins of it left from when I bought my skeins to make a sweater, which I will talk about later. And because this yarn is so special to me, and it is a very special yarn, every single Olann Mill skein is a special yarn for me, and it's absolutely stunning yarn to work with, to use in your projects. The colors are incredible, the colors are just fabulous. And I really wanted something like, not to use it in the project with something else, but I wanted to use it on its own to show the beauty of the yarn. And when I seen Sophie shawl, I was like, oh my god, that's exactly what I need. So I was reading in the notes, so I had 2 big balls of it, so I have 1 still left, and another one is the one that I'm using, excuse me. So when I was reading in the notes, she said that if you don't have exact amount that they specify in the notes, exact amount of yarn, just basically if you have 2 skeins, do increases until you finish your first skein, and then as you start your second skein, just do decreases till the end and finish. So that's what I'm doing. I'm still not even halfway through, I don't think. Yeah, no, I'm not halfway through. I'm halfway through my first skein, but that's, as I said, my car project. I only do a couple of rows a day, maybe sometimes, but I cannot wait to wear it. It's so nice. It's so soft. Like, for a real 100% wool, it's very soft yarn. And I would be quite sensitive because of my health condition. I would be quite sensitive to some wools, some mohairs as well. But this yarn, like, I can wear it against the skin and I'm not gonna itch. Like, it's amazing. It really is. And I absolutely love it. And like, I don't know if the camera is picking it up because it's my phone camera, but like, it has dark brown, purple going through it. And like, I wear a lot of dark clothes, but the hint of purple would pop the dark clothes up. And yeah, it's stunning yarn. It's really gorgeous, and I really hope to get my hands on more of mill yarn. I have already been hinting to my husband about Christmas stuff. So, but like, since I am a knitter and crochet person, yeah, my list for Christmas is big. If before it was like, oh no, I don't need anything, now it's like, oh, this is nice, oh, that is nice, oh, will I send you a link to it? So the poor guy, oh, he'd be fine. Anyway, so that's my first project that we have on the list. I'll just put that away in my cutesy little project bag. That is actually not really a project bag. I got it on sale in business store when we were up in Dublin. I just thought it was so cute, and it has a quote on it, a peaceful sort of day, and it is a peaceful sort of day when you're knitting, especially like during cold weather. It's just, there's something so calming about it, soothing, so lovely. So yeah, let's do my next one. So next one is Terrazzo Slipover, also by Petite Knit. So this one I only started 2 weeks ago. I don't know why, I just literally had this moment. I was like, I need to make a slipover. I really need to make a slipover. and I wanted a slipover with high neck because I'm always cold, and I wear puffy jackets, so I wanted something that would be warm in here because I don't like zipping up my jacket to the very top. And yeah, I seen this Terrazzo slipover by Petite Knit, and it's also like the design, the way it is, I will show you the picture of it up here. Design of it is like it has a slit on a side because I'm a mum. I live a busy mum life. I live in leggings, literally live in leggings. I have leggings for any time of year, and like it's my go-to: leggings, sweater, or leggings and a hoodie. So yeah, I decided to make a slipover. It's a high neck. I don't have the neck or sleeves done yet, but I have the top done. So it's all just a simple plain stockinette stitch now to go. I was gonna do the neck and sleeves first, just like a trim on a sleeve, just because I want to make it as long as possible with the slits, because it's a longer at the back and shorter at the front. So I want to make it as long as possible. And although I do have a lot of yarn, I think, for it, I still was thinking like maybe I should do a neck and shoulders, like around the trim around the sleeve trim arm bit, before I do the rest of the body, just so I have that done. And I'm like, okay, I'll just keep knitting until I have a little bit of yarn left, and I'll be like, okay, fine, now it's time to split for the bottom for the ribbon. So yeah, I might do that. But the yarn I'm using is actually yarn I got years ago. Well, when I started knitting, it's just iron weight Aldi yarn. It's 75% acrylic and 25% wool. It is quite nice now to feel. It's very soft and it feels very squishy and warm. I just thought that I didn't want to use any very expensive yarn for this slipover, because it will be like it will be literally like a mum slipover. My kids could be covered in chocolate, could be covered in muck, and they'll come over and give me a hug without me noticing that they're covered. So I don't want some nice expensive yarn or expensive jumper to get ruined with stains. So yeah, like I decided to make it in this yarn, which was only, I think it was like, oh yeah, it was a $5.99 for this big ball of it, which has 800 meters in it. 500 grams or 400 grams, 800 meters. So yeah, it's great. Like, why not? And yeah, I will be able to throw it in a washing machine with their clothes, which is great as well, and just dry it after and put it back on. So yeah, it's a simple mum slipover. But no, it's not a mum slipover. It's Terrazzo slipover by Petite Knit in Aldi Yarn. Yeah, that's it. I think I'm going to be cut off in a moment, so I'm just going to put my phone on charge. Hi everyone again. Well, it's a different day now, because yesterday when we were filming, as I said, my phone was about to die, and it did die. So I had to put my phone on charge, but then I started getting loads of phone calls from friends in clinic. And yeah, I didn't get to finish it. Then my little girl woke up. She's asleep again now, so hopefully she'll stay asleep. And we're gonna get to finish it today. Fingers crossed. Anyways, so yesterday, well, not yesterday, but earlier we finished on Terrazzo slipover. And next I have on the list is a single malt sweater by Max the Knitter on Instagram, known as Max the Knitter on Instagram, or Maxime Cyr, if I'm pronouncing that right. So I'm knitting this for my husband. My husband has been at me for a while now to make him a sweater, and He was like, you make everything for everybody, please make me something. I want to wear something that you have made. Excuse me. And I was like, right, okay, so what do I make him? I wanted to make him something warm. He does love his comfort, his coziness. I did make him a sweater. It was my very first largest garment I have ever made. It was about last year. And it was in Drops Nord. No, not Drops Nord. God. It was one of the Ironway drops. Anyway, it's fine. It hasn't even been blocked yet, and it's been finished for like a year. He wears it at home. Good thing he wears it at home, because at the time when I was making it, I still was learning a lot. I did do the yoke quite nicely. It was one piece sweater, and it was one of the drops patterns. I did that well, but I didn't weave in ends properly, and all I did was just make a little knot and snip it. And sure, of course, now the knots are starting to pop out. He freaked out the other evening saying like, oh my god, there's holes in my jumper. I was like, oh my god, why? I was like, I was going to unravel it and remake it or something. But no, it was just little bits of yarn sticking out here and there. So good thing he wears it at home as his comfort clothes, because if he wore it out and somebody asked him, oh, where did you buy it? And he said, my wife made it, they would be like, oh, she didn't do a great job probably. Anyway, so hopefully this one will be much better. It's already looking better anyway. So I have it here. So I have the top done, and I'm making the body now. It's in this like lovely grey color. That's it here. As you can see, it's like a light grey. But so the yarn is actually, it's very interesting yarn in the way that it's from J.C. Rennie and Co. Ltd, which is based in Scotland. It's mill yarn. It comes on the cone. So I have it here on a cone. It comes on a cone. It's iron weight. So to get iron weight, I went for 2x4 NM chunky, and the shade is Putty. Anyway, so when I was doing the swatch, I was actually doing the swatch for a different sweater, but it worked out that this yarn would have been better for the single malt sweater. And I have the swatch here, so you can actually see a big difference. Like the yarn is actually quite rough when you touch it now, because it still has that mill oils on it. It's unwashed yarn, which is why it's quite reasonably priced for such a big cone to make a sweater. But when you wash it, it was so strange. When I made the swatch, I put it into like a little bath that I made with some wool wash, and the water just went like milky color, and I was like, oh god, what's going on here? So I rinsed it once, rinsed it twice, and the yarn actually went lighter, and you could see the way it was blooming. Like it went this like fluffier, thicker fiber rather than like coarse, thinner fiber. Like at the moment, like when you look at it, it's quite gappy looking. Like it doesn't look that soft. If you can see, it doesn't look that soft. But this is a wash swatch. So like if I put this against it, you can see how like it's a bit lighter, and it also is much fluffier, like much more squishier looking, isn't it? Like I think it's lovely. Like it's very nice. Like he won't be able to wear it probably right against the skin, because it still has that like natural wool texture to it, but over a t-shirt would be great. He'd be so warm. Like he does love to wear jackets, but like because we're always in and out of car, in and out of the house, into the car, or like from the car into the shop or into work, this will be great, because it will definitely keep him warm for those couple of minutes that he'd be outside getting from the house into the car, from the car into the house. And it also will be nice for wearing indoors. So yeah, I'm very excited to finish it. The only thing I'm worried about is that I might not have enough yarn. He's a big, tall man, broad shoulders, so the yoke is actually quite big, as you can see. Like, I'm not small myself, but like, it does look big. And I still have a good bit of a body to go. It's knitted on 5mm needles, and what I love about this pattern is that you don't get bored of the constant stockinette stitch. Like, there's pearls and knits rounds, and there's also knit rounds. And when you are doing the short rows to make the fit better, the short rows are actually in the ribbon in the neck. As you can see here, it's thicker, like it's wider than it would be at the front. So the short rows are at the back in the ribbon of the neck. So which is actually quite nice. I got him to try it on the other day and the fit looks very good. So I cannot wait to have it done and to have it blocked, washed, blocked, and to see the difference. Like, I think I'm gonna have to take a picture before and after the blocking with this one, because I thought it was like incredible. I never worked with a yarn like that would be still covered in like mill oils, but like when I got it, I was like, oh, it is nice, but it is quite rough feeling to it. But then when I washed it, oh my god, like the difference. I was like, are you serious? Like, you could see the fibers open up and like go fluffier, go like much nicer. So I think it's going to be a very nice jumper. And I had to make him this jumper because he is a big whiskey lover, and if people know whiskey, there is single malt whiskey, and that is actually one of his favorite kind of single malt whiskies, is one of his favorite. So when I told him the name of the pattern, he was like, oh, I already like it. But originally it was meant to be for Christmas, but then again, like, it's been so long since I made him a jumper, and the jumper that I did make him, I didn't really have a clue what I was doing, really. I was still learning a lot. So I wanted to constantly be trying this on him, because he is quite broad shoulders, long arms and long torso. I wanted this to fit him very good, that he would be able to wear it out and it would look perfect on him. Like, I'll probably make everybody else's clothes look perfect on them more than it would look perfect on me. But yeah, so this is the single malt sweater, and I'm super excited for my husband to have it. I would say the sleeves would be quite nice to knit as well, because it will be all like knits and pearls and knit rounds. So it will be quite nice to knit. And I did treat myself to short circulars there a couple of weeks ago, and oh my god, it made my life so much easier. Like, if you're interested, I would be like, I have loads of different needles. I love needles. I love tools for knitting and crochet. I love accessories, so I have loads of different needle type ones. So if you're interested, I would be able to tell you more about needles and the things I use the most for each fibers and what kind of thickness and all, like, in a different episode. But the short circulars that I got is actually the new Knit Pro Mindful collection, and oh my god, I absolutely love them. Like, the price for them wasn't as bad as like some needles can be, especially short needles, and they're amazing. Like, they're very good. I love them, I really do. And like, flying through sleeves with them, literally flying through sleeves with them, because I hate knitting sleeves, and I think a lot of people they hate knitting sleeves. It's just the whole idea of like, oh my god, I have my body done, like, that's it, I'm done. Oh no, wait, I still need to do the sleeves. And then you do one sleeve and it takes forever, and then it's like, oh, am I done yet? No, I still have another sleeve to do. But yeah, since getting the short circulars, it's literally just like round, 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 round. Great, amazing, couldn't recommend enough. and yeah, I really love them. Anyways, so that's my short most. Oh yeah, so this fiber also has this like mill smell to it, like of all the oils and kind of dustiness, but it's literally like, oh, it smells so good when it's blocked. When it's washed, it smells unreal. Like, it smells that little bit of sheepy smell, but at the same time, it I don't know how, but it keeps that nice smell from your wool wash as well, because I use the eucalyptus one and it smells lovely. Like, it really does smell. I'm just sitting here smelling it. Anyway, so yeah, like, it's lovely. I really do love it. I would recommend this yarn because it's a proper real yarn and real wool. Very good value for a big jumper. Like, I know a lot of girls, they like skip making their husband's jumpers, only do them like here and there sometimes, just because like the price of the real wool can be quite much for some people, and I do prefer real wool to acrylic. Like, if before year, like when I started, I loved acrylic. I literally bought all that I could, all I liked in acrylic. At the moment, I'm like, please, no acrylic. I have enough of it. I'm trying slowly to get rid of it. I'm giving some of it to my mother-in-law. I'm keeping some of it for blankets, because like with kids, you can't really have a real wool blanket right now. Like, especially with my youngest not even being 2. Like, she would be walking around with biscuit or with banana, or like drinking her tea, or yeah. So I thought that acrylic would be great for blankets, but real wool for jumpers, and this was very good price. Literally, like, very good price. I think for this cone I paid about 30 sterling, 35 sterling, which would have been about €40. Like, you couldn't go wrong with that, could you? Especially for iron weight. They do other weights as well, like finger and weight and all. Like, they do have washed yarn in balls as well, but of course it's more expensive then, more pricey, but still very good price, well, considering like some other brands. But yeah, I really liked it, and it looks like it's a tough wool. He is very hard on wearing his clothes. Like, he is quite hard on wearing his clothes, so I know that this will last him. Definitely will. Now, that's it. We'll be done on the single malt sweater. Next up, we have Cottage Swancho. I'm absolutely in love with it. So this pattern is by my fellow Ukrainian lady who lives in US. Her name is Olga Putano. And when I saw the pattern, I was like, oh my god, I have to make it. Like, literally, it'd be so nice with leggings, be nice with jeans, it'd be nice with anything, even like with a pencil skirt or like a mini leather skirt or something, like with boots. Like, it'd be gorgeous, like literally gorgeous. And I love Olga's color work. Like, I have made 2 of her jumpers. Yeah, 2 of her jumpers. One I made it into t-shirt, into tee, and I gave it to my mom. And she loves it. Like, she said that, like, she's been asked in the shops who made it or where did she buy it, and she's a very knit-worthy person. Like, she really loves my work. She really loves what I make. So yeah, like, she loves that color work. It was like in, I'll put a picture up here. It was in like greeny color and cream background for the color work, with pink color work, like cerise pink purple color work. It's beautiful. I really loved making it, so I was like, I definitely need to make more of her patterns. So this one I'm making is actually on bigger needles. It's not finger and weight, it's a DK weight. So I'm using drop soft tweed in shades Spinach Pie, sorry, Spinach Pie is actually the main color, the dark color, in shades lemon pie, carrot cake, and guacamole. Like, just the names of them made me hungry. And I love working with this wool. It might feel a little bit like on the rough side in a ball, but when you start making it, the softness of it is just beautiful, and I cannot wait to show you. So this, I started the yoke. Of course, like most of the swung chow is just knitted in the round, in the round, in the round, and there's only like a little bit then for a bit of a sleeve, and then it's more like, oh, it's beautiful. I'll put up picture as well up here what it looks like on Olga. But that's how far I have got. Now what I might actually do is I put it on, excuse me, there. Look at that. Like, look at the colors. Like the color work is just so stunning. I love it, absolutely love it. Like, her designs are just so beautiful. They're so beautiful. I cannot recommend it. And you know what I find? Like, I love mindless knits. I love mindless crochet because, like, I just do it while I watch TV. But when I'm having a very rough day, like anxious day, I'm stressed, I don't know how to keep my mind busy from not overthinking stuff, because I am a queen of overthinking. That's me. I find that color work, because you have to constantly keep a track of colors, constantly keep the count of colors. I forget about everything. I really do. So I was saying this to my mum the other day, and she was like, that's actually a very good idea. Like, I said to her, I was like, yeah, before when I started, of course, like any pattern I would have had to count. But now the more I do it, the more it's more like normal for me, just normal stockinette or normal like other patterns. Like, I don't think as much when I knit. Just wiggling. No, back to sleep. Right. Yeah, so when it comes to color work, I still do that I don't think of the stuff that makes me upset or anxious, because I have to constantly count the colors. I have to constantly keep track of the pattern of the color work, the way it goes and follows. So absolutely love it, and like, I couldn't recommend this yarn enough. I saw that Petite Knit, she made her sister Ingrid sweater from, not Petite Knit, oh my god, yeah, Petite Knit Ingrid sweater. I saw one of the girls making it, Penrose Knits. She made her sister Ingrid sweater from Petite Knit in soft tweed, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to make something else in this yarn, because I really love it. And yeah, it just looks gorgeous. It really does look gorgeous in it. So I think I'm gonna make more stuff. I do have some more of the colors. I have actually loads of soft tweed ready for another pattern, which is also color work, but it's all like pinks and grays and blues, and I think it's gonna look lovely. I really think, because I am a big pink person. I love pink. Like, you might not think that now, but I love pink. I'm like that magpie for glittery stuff, but I am for pink. So yeah, I think that's all. Yesterday, of course, I don't have my crochet jumper on me. I was wearing it yesterday, and I have it here. It's one of the jumpers I made, I think, at the start of the year. It was crochet mosaic jumper, and I absolutely love it as well. It was just in acrylic yarn that I had in the stash, just like ends of everything. But it was downstairs today when I was getting dressed, and it was cold in the morning. Still is cold. It's very cold today. It's very wintry. So yeah, I have just a short bought sweater on, which is great. But anyway, next I have finished objects lined up, but I don't think I can call this one a finished object because I only have one sock left to do. I want one sock done and one sock left to do. It's my Magic Heel mohair sock. And it's in my own dyed yarn. It was Regia, if I pronounce it right. You know, the undyed finger weight sock yarn that they sell in like Hanks. So I got a couple of them because I was dying to know how to dye yarn. I really wanted to know, and I was researching, and my husband was like, I got you some yarn. I said, great, this is brilliant. So yeah, this was actually dyed just with like food dye. I have loads of different food dye because I love making cakes and I love making kids cakes as well. So I have all different colors of dyes. And yeah, this was my very first hand dyed yarn. This was, I was picked out as one of the test knitters by the Autumn Acorn. And I was so happy that I was one of the test knits. I was just like, she's such a lovely woman to work for as well, like with the test knit. Like she sent out so many patterns after when we were finished, like kit sizes, different yarn weights, DK weight, iron weight, fingering weight, like amazing. She's so good. But anyway, so the Magic Heel sock is actually worked without the heel flap. See, like without the heel flap. So we started at the top. This was just the Katya white sock yarn I had in the stash, like from ages ago, that I used as a contrast color. So we started at the top and we worked to here, to as long as we wanted to like have it on the leg. And then for the heel we just did ribbon, and because it's ribbon it's quite stretchy, it's lovely. And up here at the top we kept the pattern, like little acorns. Then when we were done with the heel, for the bottom of the foot was just a plain stockinette, and then acorns, and then just the toes. And you know what, I flew through them. I had them in the car because I was doing the test knit. I was like, you know what, because you don't have to do the heel flap, it's going to be so straightforward, I'm just going to keep it in the car as one of my car projects, like I have now with my Sophie shawl. Just when I'm sitting outside the school waiting for my daughter to come out of school to pick her up, it was great. Like the fit is very snug. It's so good. Like it doesn't feel loose, so it feels lovely. So I'm thinking about, because it's my own hand dyed yarn, that's the yarn I've used. See, like it is nice. Like it's not the best, but it is lovely. It's nice and it feels good. I used it with some mohair, white mohair that I had. It's Italian mohair that I got in a cone. So because I used basically my own hand dyed yarn, and I have one more sock to go, I was thinking about finishing them and gifting them to my mother-in-law for Christmas. She works in the office and she always says like how her feet are always cold in the office when she's sitting down a lot. So I thought it would be good now to gift her knitted socks. Like she does knit and she does crochet, but she doesn't knit socks. She says that it's too complicated for her, or that the needles are too thin. And yeah, I just thought I would make her some, because it would be, she's a very knit worthy person as well. Like she loves all the gifts like handmade. She's the kind of person that wouldn't throw a card out if it was handmade by somebody. Like she keeps it all, like especially if it's from somebody close. So yeah, she's a very knit worthy person to gift stuff like that. So I'm gonna make a second sock and they're gonna go to her as a gift for Christmas. Of course, I might make her something else, and I want to make another pair of socks for my husband's grandmother. I knitted her a body warmer, like a vest, last year in like a very chunky yarn. It was alpaca and wool blend, and it was the softest thing ever. And then she loved it so much that she asked me, is there any chance that I could maybe knit her a cardigan or put sleeves on the vest, because she loves cardigans. She loves when the arms are covered as well. So I knitted her in the same color, like, because she loves cerise pink, and it was in cerise pink, in the same color cardigan. And she was so happy with it. Like, it was so nice to see, like, because she's a very hard person to buy for. Like, she never wants anything, she never needs anything. She loves books, but she has hundreds of books. She loves walking, but what can you get her for walking? Like, she just goes out and walking. Like, shoes, she buys them herself. Other outdoor clothes, she knows what she needs. So I was like, you know what, socks might be good. Like, nice socks that she could wear when she's walking, that are snug, that are warm, to keep her warm. Great. And as well, like, to keep her warm at home, I think it would be lovely. So yeah, that's my sockies. We're flying through it today. Well, now, next we have is Barnsley sweater by Coco Amore Knitwear. It was my test knit that I was doing for Coco Amore Knitwear, and unfortunately when I was doing it, my hands decided to have a flare up and I couldn't finish it on time, which I was very disappointed, because that's not like me. I love to be on time. I need to have stuff ready on time. I need to be organized. Like, I literally, like, I have to have stuff organized. And I get so embarrassed if I am not organized. It really embarrasses me, because I don't know why. I really don't know why. I get very anxious about it. But anyway, I didn't get to finish it on time, but I have it finished now. And she said that it was worth to wait for it because it's a beautiful color. So I show you the sweater now. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with it from my Instagram. So that's the sweater. And isn't it a stunner? Like, isn't it so gorgeous? It's so soft, like literally so soft. I love the stitch definition. I love the raglan. It's just so gorgeous. I wore it the other day. We went out for a walk in the forest and I wore it, and look at that stitch. Like, isn't it so beautiful? Like, and I love this folded neck. The folded neck just makes it so squishy and so cozy. I'm sorry, there's somebody outside. It's so cozy. The only thing I should have done is put like knitting elastic into my sleeves and at the bottom. Like, I went size a little bit too big, but then again, as my husband said, like, you always wear baggy jumpers with your leggings. Like, doesn't make much of a difference there, isn't it? I was like, yeah, I suppose you're right. But I wish I did go like a size smaller for a bit better fit, so I could wear it like with high-waisted jeans. But I can still do that. But yeah, it's just a bit more on the loose side, but it's still lovely. It's very nice. Like, I'm in love with the stitch definition. Like, I'm in love with this color. And you know what? I achieved this color by mixing two colors. And I'm going to show you now. I used Drops Baby Alpaca Silk, which is unfortunately is being discontinued. And it's my first time using Baby Alpaca Silk. And of course they had to discontinue it. And I fell in love with this yarn. I was literally like looking everywhere online, where do they still have colors that I like in stock, that I could just buy it all and have it in my stash, just in case if I want to make something else with it. Because the softness of the yarn, I can't even begin to tell you how soft the yarn is. It's so beautiful. Like, the texture of it, the drape the silk gives, it's beautiful. And I used shade dark gray. I don't even have it here. Oh, where did I put it? Can't remember where I put it. Oh yeah, So this is the dark grey. There. That's the dark grey. See? And that's the actual jumper. And I mixed it with Drops Kid Silk Mohair in shade Storm Blue. So because I used this Storm Blue, it gave us that gorgeous blue shade that is quite light, but it has grey going through, and I love it. It's so soft, like I could live in it. Literally could live in it. It's just beautiful. It's one of those jumpers that you are like, I want to make another one. But I probably am like that with all of my jumpers that I love. But I might actually make another one in a smaller size and a different color. And I don't know what color yet. I think it would be nice in pink. Everything is nice in pink, definitely. But yeah, I think I might do it in pink. I think it would be lovely in pink with like a white mohair, so it's not too pink, if you know what I mean. Like, I think it would be beautiful. But yeah, I would definitely love to make another one. And it's a lovely pattern to follow. The only thing I did do as well, like in the pattern it says to make sleeves a little bit longer. I didn't do as many decreases I mean. Well, I did enough decreases to decrease to the amount of stitches on the arms for the ribbon, for the wrists. But yeah, I had to do them a little bit more often. But I think that's been fixed because I was doing a test knit. I think that's been fixed. Now, another one I have up next is the jumper I wanted to talk to you about. It's After Rain Sweater by Chris. Sorry, Chris, if you're watching this. I'm sorry for pronouncing your name wrong. So Chris Altamirano in collaboration with Olann. You can find Chris on Instagram by Chris Textiles. And I was also one of the very lucky test knits to test this pattern. And because I emailed Olann and asked would they have yarn in a sweater quantity that would suit this pattern before I started the test knit, they were very nice and they were amazingly helpful, especially Chris and Elizabeth from Olann. Yeah, they got a couple of colors out for me and they said, yeah, we have sweater quantity for your size and this, which one would you prefer? And I picked the color and I was like, look, I actually live local. I drive past your mill every day to go and collect my daughter from school or drop her off to school. Is there any chance I could call in and collect it? So I did. So this is After Rain Sweater. The After Rain Sweater is in that beautiful, beautiful mail yarn that I was showing you that I'm using now for Sophie shawl. And the yarn is core mail yarn in shade Bsides Purple. And for the stripes, it's Cloudy Alpaca and Silk Blend. Now look at that. Look, it has like speckles of bright green. Actually, I have it here still in a ball. I'm still keeping it for something special. Like, how beautiful is that? It's the softest like mohair type of yarn, like a fluffy yarn I have ever felt. It's not mohair because it's alpaca and silk, but I don't think this shade has a name. I'll just get the, yeah, I don't think this shade had a name. Yes, yeah, so this one is Baby Suri Alpaca and Mulberry Silk. And no, it doesn't have a name on the tag, but yeah, it's just, if you ever consider of getting Cloudy from Olann, do it. If you can't, do it, because it's the softest fluffy yarn you could get. Like, I am a little bit on the itchy side with some mohair, Did I itch once with this? I know it's only a little bit, but not even a slightest little bit. Did I scratch myself anywhere? Also, the mill yarn is extremely soft. I was like, when I was knitting it before I blocked it, I was like, oh, I'm probably gonna have to like wear a long sleeve under it because it will be scratching me. No, I wear it like over just my, like I put a vest on, but I don't get any itchiness anywhere from it. It's so soft. Also, another thing I said to my husband the other day, you could see that how good the yarn is because I wore the sweater a couple of times. Like I wore it about 3-4 times already for a full day, and it didn't peel much at all. I think that's not much pilling at all for a real wool, like a proper wool. That's not much at all. You can't really notice it, and it's only really here where would be my jacket. It's not anywhere else, like where my sleeves and my jacket would be finished. That's all. And this sweater itself is stunning. I love it. I want to make another one. I want to make that about all the sweaters I love, but I definitely love to make another one. But yeah, I have probably 2 favorite hand dyeing companies, and that would be Olann, without a doubt, and Finally Fibers. And Olann is right next to me, and it just like it feels so good to be even driving past Olann. And when I went to collect my yarn, Chris gave me a tour around their mill, where their dye kitchen. It just all looks so good. I would absolutely love to go in there and probably work for them. Like, just imagine how much fun that would be. I know my friend that works there, she'd probably be like, yeah, it is much fun, but it's very bloody hard work. It's a hard job, but just going into a job that you love, like that is so much fun, that is with something that you absolutely love doing, imagine the difference. Like, even if it's hard, you're still gonna enjoy it. But yeah, the mill is fabulous. And I didn't get to meet Jan, the owner, but I hope I will get to meet her someday. But Chris was such a sweetheart. Like, he really is such a nice person. Like, he's so lovely, so lovely. And he was very good through the test knit. Like, the test knit went on for a while, and like he only released this pattern last week Friday. Like, the test knit went on for quite a while. Like, it was during the summer that we started, but like I'm only getting to wear it now because, of course, like, you couldn't really wear this during the summer. But yeah, like, he was very good during the test knit. He was very helpful. Even though he was moving the country, he moved back, I think, to Spain. He's in Spain now from Ireland, and he was still very good. He was lovely to all of us in the test knit, and very helpful. And yeah, I've really enjoyed the test knit. I enjoyed the pattern, and I loved the yarn. Like, I really did love it, and I still do. Like, when I wear them and people ask, oh, where'd you get that? I made it. It's so good. But yeah, that's all my notes done. I hope you enjoyed my very first podcast. I'm gonna go and have my coffee now. I apologize that it kind of got broken up into 2 pieces, this very first episode. Like, when you think about it, like, Halyna, it's your first episode, charge your bloody phone, like a full battery, to film the whole thing in one go. But then again, I probably wouldn't have been able to film it in one go because of the kids and the clinic ringing me and everything. So yeah, like, I hope you enjoy it, and I will see if I'll be doing this again. I hope I will, because I love to talk about yarn. That's exactly what my husband said to me. Halyna, why are you watching podcasts? I was like, I love them, and they talk about yarn. He's like, you do not shut up talking about knitting, crochet, yarn related stuff. He's like, why are you not making one? So I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just come out of my shell. And I know it's not exactly face to face kind of feeling. It just feels weird talking to myself now, sitting here in the kitchen. But yeah, I just love to talk about knitwear, fibre, knitting, crochet. Next time now, next episode, I promise I will talk a bit more about crochet. I haven't been able to crochet for quite a while now because of my hand flaring up, because of my thumb, as I mentioned before. And I do hope that I will get to pick up a crochet hook now soon, because I do want to make loads of nice things that I crocheted. And yeah, I hope to talk about it next time. I'm planning on maybe filming once a month, because with the busy mum life, I don't really get to knit that much. Like in the evening a little bit, but still, like, and then working part-time, it's kind of like don't always get a chance. I think she's waking up now. Please go back to sleep so mommy can have a coffee. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm hoping to film once a month, so I'll definitely have enough to talk about. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it today, and I hope you will come back again if I have any more podcasts. I'm only starting, I'm only learning, so the editing might not be incredible, but I do hope that the sound, the picture, and everything else is fine, and that you do like the content that I was talking about today. And if you have any more questions, please pop it in down below. I will also link and put the names of everything down in the list in description. And if you have any comments, please do comment. And if you don't have me on your Instagram yet, you're always welcome to follow. I do try my best to reply to everyone, but if I didn't, please do not take it as an offense, because I'm not always on my phone. I try to avoid it as much as possible, not to see the news, because I think we're all dreading the news nowadays. But yeah, I will reply to you sooner or later. But yeah, that's it for today, and thank you very much, and I hope to see you again. Thank you. Bye.